Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome you all to this session. Today we will be having the session for MDE 413. Okay, and
Okay, sir.
last yeah, in our last session on 10th of this month, we were discussing block 4 and we were discussing about the assessment of learners performance and under that we could able to discuss the first major aspects such as assessment, types of assessment, then marking, grading, and the importance of self assessment, continuous assessment, and the issues related to grading, marking, and other aspects we have discussed. And today, I think we will discuss about tutor comments, right? If you remember that today I will discuss about the tutor comments. Is it so, or we have discussed tutor comments? Anyone who was there in our last session on 10th of March? Can you recapitulate that what exactly we had discussed? Yes. Can anyone can anyone switch on and tell that where exactly we were and what exactly we were discussing that day and from where we have to continue today? Yes. I think we can wait for another 2 to 3 minutes and then we can begin. Meanwhile, may I
Yes,
ask?
sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, yes, last time we stopped at the qualities of tutor.
The qualities of a tutor that we had discussed, and we were about to discuss the tutor comments, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
On the assignment responses, yeah. We will wait another 2 to 3 minutes because I think still people are joining, and only 7 or 8 of you are there. We can wait another 1 to 2 minutes and then we can start our discussion.
Okay,
And
sir.
as you all know that we have only 2 sessions left for this course, and as we have been discussing block 4, and we have to even discuss block 5 also, that is on management of learner support services. If possible, we will finish up block 4 today and begin block 5, and maybe in the next class we will try to cover block 5. And meanwhile, if you have any queries or any questions in your mind, definitely you are most welcome. You can interrupt me and ask me also in between also. um, Before I begin the presentation, let me share that in the last classes we were discussing about the kind of assessment and evaluation support that we are providing through open and distance learning system, and what are the alternative assessment methods that we are adopting here, and what exactly the self assessment is meant in open and distance learning system, how it is helpful to provide feedback for the learners to enhance their learning, and what exactly the continuous assessment mean, and whether it is a part of formative, and how it is serving as as a tool for formative assessment, and even how in open and distance education system the assignments are being used as a tool for summative assessment also, as we use 25% weightage, or we provide 25% or 30% weightage to the assignments in open and distance learning system for the final grading and marking. And then we had discussed about the peer assessment, seminar assessment, presentation, internship, project assessment, portfolio, rubrics, all these things we had discussed. Even we had discussed about hmm, the 5 points grades A, B, C, D, E, and what are the qualities that we assign, whether excellent, very good, good, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. And even we had seen that how the marks or the percentage is being given from 4.5 and above A, then 3.5 to 4.4 is B, from 2.5 to 3.4 is C, then 1.5 to 2.4 is D, and below 1.5 is E. That's how uh, we give the value to the letter grades also in terms of the marks and percentage. And we have even discussed the role of the tutors and the counselors as in the tutoring sessions, and what exactly they mean to do, and what is the importance of assignments, and what is the importance of the responses or the comments or the suggestions that the learners receive from their counselors and teachers, because that is the main motto behind creating the assignments, is to provide the feedback for the learners to enhance their learning. Because here, as we know, that the distance between the teachers and the learners always exist, and as they cannot be in touch with the course coordinators or the teachers or the counselors directly all the time, they if they receive any suggestions or comments on the responses that they prepare for the assignments, then definitely that will be helping them morally, psychologically, even academically also, to proceed further and to prepare themselves for the term and examinations. And um, they can be in touch or in contact with the counselors and the teachers for further learning. And the kind of feedback or the comments or the suggestions that they receive from their counselors, they can utilize them, and they accordingly they can modify their learning and prepare further also. And beyond that, today we will be discussing about various types of tutor comments, or the okay then we will be discussing about the tutor comments and their significance. Because as we all know that whatever the whatever the comments or the suggestions the tutors or the counselors write on the assignment responses, that will have a great influence upon the learners. If we as teachers give some good comments or good suggestions to the learners, definitely that will create some sort of positive energy among the learners. If we if as teachers they don't entertain the learners, or if they write something very strictly, or strictly in the sense in a negative language, or if they try to demoralize, or if they don't entertain the learners to be free, or to open up their conversation with the counselors and with the teachers, then definitely the distance will be more, and they will lose their temperament for their studies, and they will be motivated, and the isolation also will be increased, and the learning cannot take place. That's why always in open and distance learning system, it is suggested and it is discussed and it is advised that the counselors and the teachers should use some positive frame of mindset, and they should be very creative, and they should be having some personal touch to the comments and the suggestions that they provide to for the assignment responses written by the learners for the improvement of their further or to enhance the learning and so on. And then these are the things actually we have to discuss today, that what type of comments are expected and how these comments can be written, and which comments should be avoided, and all these things we will discuss today. And let me because I have been summarizing that what we had discussed and what we are going to discuss today, because still students are joining, and actually in between admitting, you all becomes bit hectic also. But I think it's already 15 minutes, or more than 15 minutes we have crossed, and let others join in between, and I will share the presentation, and we can present. Okay, just can you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, then
Yes,
I
sir.
will move on. Identifying a distance tutor we have discussed, and we have even discussed the role of a face-to-face classroom teacher and the role of a distance teacher also we have discussed. Okay. Then the learning, just 1 minute. Okay. Then yeah. Learning activities we have already discussed. Okay. Yeah. Can you mute yourself? Someone's mic is on.
Mohammed, Mohammed, please mute yourself.
Muhammad. Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about the significance of tutor comments. Okay, then we are discussing about the academic communication that has to be taken place between the teachers or the counselors and the learners. Because through academic communication, when we refer to, we are referring to the content and the study materials and the skills or the objectives that are set for the courses and the programs and which the learner should achieve or should get after going through the particular content or particular course. That is the academic aspect of the courses and programs. And related to that, just give me 1 second. Okay. uh, yeah, academic communication we were speaking about, that the comments that are being given by the counselors or the teachers on related to the content itself, whether where the learners are lacking and what extra content they should provide, whether the examples given by them are relevant to the content or not, or what are the other areas or concepts if they missed out while writing the responses, or what are the questions which they need to address through their responses if they have left out anything else related to the subject matter. Those kind of comments or suggestions are known as the academic communication, which have to be given by the counselors or the tutors. Then personal communication, yes, definitely. After going through the responses of the learners, the counselors and teachers, they can identify the handwriting of the learners. Then they can identify the presentation style, or they can identify the grammatical mistakes the learners make, or they can identify uh, even some positive traits, or the kind of problems they notice from each learners, that they can identify and write them, that though you have attempted very good, but your handwriting style should be improved, or your language should be rectified, or you should go through the grammar before you submit. Some kind of personal touch also they can give, or if they missed out something, or if they make any sentences in a wrong manner, then the teachers can identify those sentences and can say that you the sentences or the pattern that you have used may not be suitable for the master's degree level. You need to improve upon that, something like that related to the personal improvement. Also they can give suggestions and comments upon the responses they send, evaluate, and the kind of suggestions they provide to the learners. Then the supplemental communication, once they provide the suggestions and comments to the learners and they reach to the learners, then the learners may or may not be agreeing with the counselors and the tutors. If at all they are, if they don't agree, then also they can write back to the counselors and the teachers that no, the way you have pointed out, this is not the truth, and I had given my best, or the kind of explanation that they would like to provide, or if they would like to know more about the comments and suggestions which they had provided. Hmm? मुझे Just give me 1 second. I will. सब्जेक्ट क्या है? सब्जेक्ट ऑफिस ऑर्डर नंबर है तो 37 फिर क्या है? सब्जेक्ट बताते हैं PROVISIONS क्या होता है? प्रोविजन। हाँ, CONTAINED कैंडिडेट है ना? CONTAINED contained in the office MENORANDUM. Okay. Then we will be discussing about the supplemental communication also, and the kind of further communication that is going on between the teachers and the learners, that related to the comments and suggestions they give to the learners on their assignment responses, that is generally happen through supplemental communication. Then the tutor comments and their importance. Okay, just give me 1 second. Yes, we were discussing about the importance of the tutor comments. Just somebody wants to see, this is the reason why actually we are getting disturbed in between. Someone wants to come into the meeting and I have to admit all the time. That is the reason we are losing the momentum, and in between I have to stop and go back to the meeting and again admitting them and coming back to my presentation. That's why I request you all again. See, someone wants to join. Again someone wants to join, and that is the problem actually. That's what I'm always suggest, that please be punctual and join on time so that our session will not be disturbed in between. Okay, tutor comments and its importance. That the comments that are written by the tutor or the counselors on assignment response advantages. Okay, it increases the motivation of the distance learners that we have been discussing for quite a long time. Okay, the competitive spirit of the learners definitely, because if they receive some positive comments and improve upon the lacunas and shortcomings which they have, then definitely the competitive spirit of the learners can be increased. And the feeling of isolation, as I have already discussed, that it will be improve break, and there will be a break for the isolation, and they will feel that the teachers are with them and always assisting them for their learning. That kind of feeling they will get, and it will help them to improve their study habits also, because by the suggestions and comments there may be getting some inputs for improvement of their studies and improve how to improve their study patterns also. Through that they will be benefited. And then mm, they can clarify, they can get clarification on the ambiguities that they have. Okay. And for summative evaluation or for term and examinations, really these comments will help them to improve also. And these are the some of the advantages that we can say that we derive from the positive or the personal comments, or for the kinds of communication that we have talked till now: the academic communication, personal communication, and the supplemental communication on the assignment responses which are being given by the counselors and the teachers. Okay. Then about academic communication, if we discuss, okay, then someone again wants to, okay, um, academic communication. Uh, without missing the lines and passages, the counselors are expected to read the responses written by the learners. Okay. And the particular issues or points which the learners missed out while writing the responses, those should be identified, and based upon those things the counselors need to give their suggestions and comments also. Okay. And they should be very honest while evaluating the responses, and whatever grades or marks exactly the learners deserve, the counselors or the teachers are expected to provide them, and communicate the grades and marks with justification also, why they have received A or why they have received B. Okay. Then yeah. As I was speaking about the grades and marks, which exactly the learners deserve, should be provided by the counselors and the teachers also. Uh, okay. This is all about the academic communication. Okay. The classification of tutor comments. Okay. Uh, then we can divide the tutor comments into two types exactly: the teaching type comments and even the non-teaching type comments. Okay. When we are giving the comments or suggestions on the assignment responses to the learners, that is also a part of teaching learning process, because the comments or the suggestions will be a part of teaching which is being done by the tutors or by the counselors. That is for enhancing the learning with the use of the content, as well as the language, as well as the study skills. And the comments consist of everything that is related to the overall performance, overall assessment of the learners learning altogether. That's why it is a part of teaching learning process, and that should be the comments. That's why have been divided into two types: one is teaching type and another is non-teaching type comments. Okay. Uh, mm, Positive comments, constructive comments, global comments, and personal comments, these are coming under the teaching type comments. And uh, then we are talking about the non-teaching type comments. Harmful comments, hollow comments, negative comments, misleading comments, these all are the comments which are coming under the non-teaching type comments altogether, because we will examine all these type of comments one after the other in detail. But for your understanding, the tutor comments are divided into two parts. One is teaching type and another is non-teaching type comment. Under the teaching type comments, we are discussing about the personal, the comments, global comments, constructive comments, and um, positive comments. And under the non-teaching type of comments, we are discussing about the negative comments, misleading comments, null comments, hollow comments, and harmful comments. Okay, I think is it the yeah, these are the 9 type of comments, but divided into two parts. Okay. Friends, it becomes very difficult to admit you in between in each and every 30 seconds or 1 minute time. Please adhere to the timing for counseling and try to join at least within the 10 to 15 minutes of the class. Otherwise it becomes very difficult to admit you once the class begins, and in between of the presentation again and again the flow gets affected, and the points that we would like to discuss are also interrupted, and we lose the some of the important issues which we want to discuss in between also. That's why please, I request you all, at least next time for the last class, at least join on time, so that we will be able to do justice to the counseling sessions. And as I said, we are discussing about teaching and non-teaching type comments, and then we will see each type of comments with examples in detail. Okay. That positive comments. Okay, when we talk about the positive comments, it really provides the motivation, and it gives the ground or some scope for the future improvement for the learner also. Okay. And it support the right information, illustration, and the examples which have been provided by the learner. That means acknowledging the learner's learning. If a learner has written something very good, or has given some good examples or relevant information, then acknowledging that by the counselor. Oh, dear X, you have done very good job, and you have written the examples provided by you are really relevant and desirable in this context, and those have a really meaningful, and those are the need of the hour, something like that. That means the language which is being used in the comments will definitely give a good feeling to the learners altogether. That is the kind of positive comments we are referring to. Okay. Then appreciating the work which is being done by the learner, we all say that these are the positive comments. I think it must be very clear to you that what exactly the positive comments are, and how the comments can be written as a tutor or as a counselor. Okay. then uh, then constructive comments. Okay. When we are giving certain comments or certain suggestions constructively, that means you as a teacher should identify the problem areas of the learners, where exactly they need to improve, and providing them the opportunity and the alternative also, that how they can improve upon and what exactly they need to do for further improvement, that one needs to tell them. And these are the comments which are called constructive comments. Okay. Const- how the answer could have been improved. You can discuss the answers of environmental pollution with examples and factors. Yes, see, the way I think the learner might have written the responses, but if as a counselor, as a teacher, if I am not satisfied with the response, then I may I may point out the problem areas of the learners, and may write back that, dear learner, though you have attempted the response in a very good manner, still you need to write or mention the factors or the causes, or the measures to be taken, something whatever are missing in the assignment responses, those can be pointed out and communicated to the learners also, and along with that, one or two examples also may be provided to the learners. These are called the constructive comments. Okay. Then the marginal comments. Okay. Marginal comments, when we talk about, is that when as a teacher, one goes through the responses written by the learners, on the margins of the responses, the teacher may the and then, while going through the text, if something comes to mind, then they can identify and write there also, that particularly one sentence is incomplete, or if the paragraph doesn't make any sense, or if that paragraph is not linked with the previous one, or if any concept is overwritten or repeated, or if there is no coherence between the concepts, all these things can be written in the marginal comments itself. Okay. And the global comments, when we talk about that, global comments are the total comments given by the tutor or the counselor at the end of the evaluation of the responses, that constitute all the marginal comments, we can say. That is the summary or the gist of the comments, overall comments, that overally, dear X, dear Y, and dear Z, you have done excellent, and all your presentation about the learner's presentation style, about the overall content that has been covered, or overall the language that has been used, or the examples, and the presentation style, the structure, overall comments which the tutors provide, those are the part of the global comments, we can say. Okay. uh, Here even you may mention about neatness, handwriting, language, all these things also one can mention in the global comments. And so one should justify the grade or the marks which have been provided to the assignment responses, and should um, mention and also justify also. Okay. These are called the global comments. Then the personal comments and the comments already we have discussed, and now we will discuss about the second type of comments, the non-teaching type of comments. Okay. uh, Negative comments. Okay. Negative comments, when we refer to, the class chal raha hai. Yeah. Negative comments, when we talk about, is that means we are referring to the kind of comments which really are not expected to be written by the teachers on the assignment responses, we can say. Okay. And Yeah. You as a teacher, as a counselor, you can know that the answer is incorrect. But if we won't communicate that where the learner has made the mistake and how that mistake can be rectified, if that is not there, then writing some comment on only identifying the mistakes will not uh, be justifiable. Okay. uh, if we say that the first part is not clear, the second part is not clear, then does it make any sense for the learner? Because you are saying that it is not relevant, it is not required, or the content is not sufficient, something like that you are writing. But how and why, that one has to justify and explain to the learner, so that he or she can understand that what exactly they want to, they should do, and they can improve upon also. Then null comments. Okay. The kind of symbols, if the counselor or the teacher puts a question mark, or if a cross mark, or if one underlining, or some double quote, single quotes, some symbols that you must have seen, which have been given by the teachers on the assignment responses. But until unless those symbols are explained or communicated through the verbal words, then the comments do not have any meaning for the learners, because the learners may not be knowing that what exactly the teacher would like to communicate to them through these symbols and the communications altogether. Okay. These are called the negative comments, as such we can say. Then yeah, then the comments which should be, then the comments which should be avoided. Okay. Hollow comments. If we say the hollow comments, then definitely we can say that the sentences are written, or some comments are written by the tutors and the counselors, but exactly the comments or the hollow comments do not communicate anything concrete to the learners. Okay. For example, or we can say that after going through these comments, the learners will not gain anything academically, or we can say that personally or emotionally they won't get anything, but the comments are written and they can read it out. For example, okay, you can spend some more time for writing this answer, your answer is so so, you need to improve further. Okay. The if I say like this, is there any thing that I'm clear about for communication? No, not exactly. If I say some of you that you need further improvement, but I am not clear, and I am not explaining that what exactly you need to improve further. Or if I say that if I say that you go and read the material again, then I should have enough justification that what material you have to read and how you have to read, what person exactly I would like you to read, that I have to mention. Otherwise, the comment that I give will not have any meaning also to the comment that I provide. Okay. These are called the hollow comments. Then misleading comments. Okay, if we talk about the misleading comments, then you can see say that the comments which mislead or misguide the learners. Let me admit. Okay, yeah, misleading comments we were discussing. Some comments may misguide and mislead the learners also. That the teacher or the counselor if says that I'm not going to tell you from where you will get information, but you have to put this information and you have to read the whole block again, or you have to read the course material again. Okay, uh, if this is the comment given by the teacher to the learner, does it make any sense? That means the teacher or the counselor is misleading to the learners, that he or she wants the learner to provide the right response and write it correctly, but she is not disclosing that what exactly the person of the unit or the course material that the learner needs to refer, or how that answer can further be written with which type of example, and where they can get the collect the information. Nothing is clear about the comment, but the such comments are being written by the counselors. This generally mislead the learners. Okay, even the harmful comments, the comments which generally even those are very negative, and those can harm also the learners and their learning also. Okay, these comments can disturb and demotivate the learners also, which have been given by the teachers and the counselors. Okay, uh, if you are a teacher and if you are raising some comments that are you writing English for the first time, is it the way to write your answer, don't you know how to write your answer? Okay, or if you write something very in a bad manner, or the sentences through the comments, if those comments hurt the learners, if they don't explain that what exactly they need to do and how they need to do. Okay, if you ask them that is it the way to write the answers with this kind of answer, do you expect me to give you good marks? Don't try to do such mistakes again. I am giving you the warning for the first time, last time. Such sentences will really demotivate and disturb the learners also, because if they would know that these are not the answers and this is not the way to write, then they would not have written in this way. But if as a teacher, it is our role and our duty to identify the mistakes, and we should clearly communicate that how that things can be improved, and how those things can be improved, what exactly they need to write, and how they can improve their responses, and how they can prepare further for the summative assessment. All these things should be written in a clear manner also. Okay, These are the comments, non-teaching type comments that we are referring. Okay. Okay, just a second. Okay, then okay, then the tasks of a distance teacher that we can discuss. That generally, why particularly the counseling sessions and the tutorial sessions held, and what exactly the role of a distance tutor, that we can say that whatever extra knowledge that has to be given to the learners along with the study materials, and whatever uh, could not be discussed inside the study materials or inside the units, can be taught in the counseling and the tutoring sessions, we can say. Even the assignments also, if some questions are given by the teachers to the learners, then exactly how the assignment responses should be written, and what exactly they have to read, and what are the points they should cover in their assignment responses, these things should be mentioned, can be part of the tutoring classes, and that should be the task of a distance tutor also. Okay, break the isolation of the distance learner. This is also one of the tasks that a distance teacher or distance tutor has to play, that through counseling and the through tutoring, the isolation and should be break out, and the motivation level of the learner should be increased further. Then sustain the learner's motivation, yes, definitely we have already discussed. Then evaluate and grade the assignment responses written by the learners, as yes, this is one of the important tasks, we can say. And because as we see that the purposeful comments, because whatever comments or suggestions are being given by the counselors, those should be very purposeful, and those should make the learners to learn something new, or to add their learning, or to the comment should motivate them, and they should not feel the isolation. Those kind of comments should be provided by the tutors. And even the teachers should be in a position to get to answer all the queries, and to clear the doubts of the learners, and to explain the difficult and complex concepts that have been discussed inside the course materials. And if the learners would like to learn something more, and would like to have more examples on any one concept, then the teacher should be in a position to give them or assist them in that also, by providing some relevant examples in the same area. These are the tasks of a distance tutor also. Then yeah, even more tasks when we discuss that whether the learners stuck somewhere, and if they stop learning, and if they stop coming to attend the counseling sessions, or if they are not able to write their assignment responses, then also it becomes the responsibility of the distance tutors and the teachers to be in touch with those learners and break their isolation and motivate them and help them in their studies, academically and non-academically also. Then, and as we have already discussed that each learner is very important in open and distance education system, and we know that the learners are very heterogeneous, their needs and their problems are also very different, and they may ask for a different kind of help. Some may be having some physical disability, some may be having some personal problem related to the families, and some may be having some financial problems, some may be facing problems in getting the study materials, some may be facing problems in understanding the concepts of the study materials. Therefore, it is desirable and it is suggested that the tutors and the counselors should provide one-to-one support, and that to be the individualized support or need-based support to the learners also. Then even if the learners do achieve something, then the as a teacher, as a counselor, one should appreciate them, one should acknowledge them, and if they lose, if they lack something, then the lacunas inside the learners may be identified and accordingly can be explained or can be um, improved upon by giving them examples and showing them the ways to improve those shortcomings also, to overcome. All these things are the tasks of a distance teacher altogether. Okay. Even to break the isolation of the learners that we have been discussed, then definitely problem solving, discovering knowledge, and we can say stimulate independent and original thinking. Okay, these all areas also are uh, have to be taken care of by the distance teachers and by the distance uh, co- tutors. Then they should, as a teacher, it is a responsibility to create such attitude among the learners uh, through which they can develop respect towards the institution, towards the course materials, towards the teachers and academics, we can say. Okay, the one's own needs and activities that they need to carry out while pursuing the program, those kind of concerns also should be created among the learners. Yeah, teaching through distance as a two-way communication, that also we can, just a second. Is it clear up to now, or would you like to ask something?
Yes, sir. There is question, sir.
Yeah.
All right. So, sir, under the classification of tutor comments, the teaching
Yes.
and non-teaching comments. So,
That
I learned, I learned that the teaching comments are positive. They are motivating. The
mm-hmm.
non-teaching, they are all negative and harmful. So, as a professional teacher, all these classification of comments applicable to a learner in case if there any situation that may arise where a teacher will apply such comments on a learner, especially the negative ones.
uh, Your voice is actually very breaking, and I was trying to get what exactly you would like to say, but I couldn't get it. Can anyone tell me that what exactly he is trying to communicate or ask? Or if you can type the question so that I can be able to answer that. Or does anyone who could listen him or who could got his question can explain? Yes.
Maybe he comes again with his question. He was not clear.
Yeah, he was not clear. That's that I couldn't able to hear him.
Hear me now, sir.
Pardon?
I say, can you hear me now clearly?
Better than before, but still there is some disturbance in your microphone.
Okay. What I'm querying here is that among the classification of these tutor comments,
Yeah.
we have teaching and non-teaching.
Yes.
And I learned that the teaching comments are positive comments. They are motivating the learners. They are
Yes.
guiding the learners.
Yes.
And the non-teachings, they are all negative. They are demotivating the learner. So
Yes.
what I'm querying here is that as
What? What?
what I, my question here is that these non-teaching comments, are they applicable by a tutor to a learner when the situation may arise? Did
Okay.
you go?
Perhaps you would like to say that um, is there any role of non-teaching type comments, and if these non-teaching type comments are used by the tutors for the learners, what exactly the learner should do? That's what are you asking? Are you asking that?
Yes, sir. What I'm asking is that these
Okay.
non these non-teaching comments,
Yeah.
are they applicable by a tutor?
See, that's what I said while presenting. That these are the comments which are not expected to be used by any distance teacher. Okay, though it has been found and it has been seen and it has been observed that some of the tutors or the counselors in open and distance learning system, they are using these comments. Okay, the hollow comments, the harmful comments, the negative comments, the misleading comments, and the negative comments. Okay, these are the five types of comments which I categorically spoke about under the non-teaching type comments, and we expect that no teacher, no counselor should use these type of comments while writing the comments for the distance learners on any of their assignment responses. Only they are advised, they are suggested, and they should always be suggested to write the positive, personal, constructive, and global comments with the gist of the assignment responses to the learners with the with some motivational words. Okay, they are expected to do that, but uh, but generally as a teacher, as of our own practice, or if we are not that much honest to our profession, then what happens is that for the sake of writing something, or for the sake of giving some comments to the learners, the teachers generally also use these kind of negative comments, or they say that you go again and read the material and redo the assignment again, and your answer is not clear what exactly you would like to communicate. And or they can say that you need to give more examples. Then it's okay that if the teacher wants the learner to give more examples, but the teacher should be very clear that where exactly and on which aspect the learner need to give examples, and from where the examples should be drawn, and the learner where should go and study which portion of the unit, and from where that those examples he or she can get. And even the teacher should be very specific that if the learner misses something, or to write or to mention, then those things should be identified and told to the learner that see, though you have written, but you have missed out the point A or point B, which you can find on inside the unit 2 of block 3 or unit 2 of block 4, under this section or under that section. You can read it more again, and then you can be able to build your answer in a better way. See, this is the way to write the comments. But if you write by using the negative words, negative terminology, or if you don't specify that what exactly they need to improve, from where they can get the information, then those type of comments are not advisable and even not required in the open and distance system, because they will definitely demotivate and demoralize the learners, and they will distract and they will disturb also from their learning. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Yes. Does anybody would like to?
Doc, I just want to share what happened pertaining to harmful comment in our is it conventional teaching. One of our colleague
Yes.
told Elena a harmful comment to say, this is not the shape of the head which can pass physics. And that pupil dropped the subject because of that comment. So it's very harmful.
Yes, I agree with you, because if we write, if I say that are you speaking English for the first time? Don't you know how to speak in English? Or is it the way to speak to a teacher? Is it the way to write an answer for this type of question? If I give such type of comments, or if I scold like that to the learner, then definitely in open and distance learning, where the learners have joined or have enrolled out of their own interest, we don't know that from which background they have come from, and what are the difficulty level they have been facing, and despite of so many problems, they may be trying to cope with their studies. But if we behave like this, if we write like this to them on their assignment responses, then definitely they may think that okay, I don't deserve to be a student of this program. I think I am not fit for this particular program, and that means I am not eligible to continue further. These kind of negative thoughts will come to the learners minds, and definitely they will uh, either they may drop out, or they may discontinue, or they may fear to ask further queries to the teacher. They will not attend the counseling classes, and anything can happen to the learners, and ultimately they can not uh, even complete the program and complete the course also on time. These are the problem areas. If we speak negative, or if we write negative also to someone else, I think it's clear.
Yes, Doc, it's clear.
Yeah. Uh, is there anything that you would like to discuss about?
No, it's clear, sir.
Okay, then yeah, yeah, teaching through distance as a two-way communication. That's what we were discussing, and this is the unit 3 of block 4. We can say that teaching through correspondence. Okay, the problem of motivation. Yes, as we all know, that unlike the face-to-face classroom situation in open and distance education, the problem of motivation always exists, and that's why we are expecting to to sustain that motivation by by building the teacher into the materials, by conducting the orientation and induction programs regularly for the learners, by providing the PCP, the contact programs with the learners, then maybe by giving the assignment responses and with appropriate comments also, as we have already discussed. These are the some of the techniques which have been used to to meet the problem of motivation in open and distance learning system also. Then problem of isolation also we can see very much in open and distance learning system, and with the use of technology we can create WhatsApp groups among the learners also, so that the peer interaction can take place, or we can call the learners over the Google Meet or Zoom or any other platform that the institutions are using, or we can call them to the study centers or program centers for counseling time to time, and we can call them on their telephones by the institutions, and can get their feedback also on the materials and on the services that they require to complete the program. And in between, maybe in a 15 days or 1 month's break time, if someone or some administration or some teacher, if gives a call to the rings the call, gives a ring to the learner and talks to the learner, then definitely that will give some positive energy also to the learner, and that will break the isolation also on the part of the learner also. Then problem of study skills, because as we all know, and already studied in block 2, that how the study skills can be built by the learners, and what exactly they do need to take care of, and how they can be good learners, and how better learning can take place. All these things can be explained in the induction and orientation programs, and maybe while discussing the content part also, in the either in the beginning or towards the ending of the class also, the teacher can take some time to explain all these. Okay. uh, it's already see, 1 hour 21 minutes, the time has crossed, and still someone wants to join, and I had to admit now also. Maybe in another half an hour, we will close the meeting, and we have been discussing very important issues of this course. That's why I told you that we should be very punctual while coming for the session, until unless we have some compulsions and some problems technically, or some serious problems if we are having, then it may be different, but Otherwise we should be very careful about the timings also. And yes, definitely we are discussing about we are discussing about problem of motivation, problem of isolation, then problem of study skills also we have discussed, and summative comments. Because at the end of the course, the certification, and after getting the final grade sheet, and some sort of value judgment which the institution provides, that whether a student is very good, excellent, and good, or satisfactory, how one performs, has performed throughout the program and the course. Okay, these are the things which motivate even the learners for the improvement also, we can say. Okay, and now I think this is the end of the block 4 as such, which I wanted to discuss discuss further. Okay, then I think, do you have anything to discuss about block 4, assessment and evaluation, or should we continue block 5? How do you suggest? What exactly do, if you have any queries or any thing that you would like me to talk upon or focus upon, then we can discuss further and continue block 4 today, and maybe in the next class we will speak about block 5, or should I begin block 5 on the learners management issues? What way you would like me to go ahead?
I suggest we continue, sir.
Pardon?
I suggest we continue.
No, sir, but I have a question, sir.
Yes.
So under the significance of tutor comments, we
Yes.
have the academic communication, the personal communication, and the supplementary
Supplement.
communication. Yes, sir. So, sir, this supplementary communication, as I got you then, to my understanding, is just like a feedback from the learner to the tutor.
See, supplemental communication, when we say, is that the communication which is happening, or which has been initiated. See, maybe for the first time, from the learner side, the learner has submitted the assignment response to the institution, and that assignment response has gone to a particular teacher or particular counselor for evaluation, right? This is the first process. Then the communication goes back, and it is being initiated by the teacher and the or the counselor, that after going through the assignment responses, if they write certain comments or suggestions for further improvement, uh, further improvement, they give certain grades after evaluation or some marks after evaluation, and with their suggestions or comments they send the assignment responses back to the learners. Okay, this is the two-way communication that we are talking about. Okay, that may be either academic or personal. As you have already understood that academic is related to the subject comments and the content and the objectives which have been set by the course coordinators and by the institution for to be achieved after completion of the course or the program. That is the academic communication. Based upon that, the comments must have been written. The personal communication, yes, about the language, spelling, then writing style, writing pattern, presentation pattern, then and the understanding of the concepts and other things can be identified by the tutor and by the teacher and the counselor, and those may be written back with constructive notes to the learners that for further improvement. That is personal communication. And now the supplemental communication, once the comments reach to the learners may either would like to more. If as a teacher I give you a comment that Mr. XYZ, you need to study particularly this book, or some references I might have provided you, that materials for further clarification and for improving your answer on writing on assessment and evaluation. Then as a learner, you may if you search those materials and if you won't get those materials, you may again there is a possibility that you may write back to me, sir, you had suggested me to go through the books, but I have searched them from our own library and in our own country, but those books are not available for me. Can you provide me the soft copy of those materials, or can you provide me the sources from where I can get those books? You can write back. Okay, and after that also, as a teacher, this is my responsibility to write you back that by providing the sources or by providing the soft copy of those books. Okay, in this way the communication may prolong, that may go on between the learner and the teacher. That is the supplemental communication. Okay, and another example I am giving: if I have given you B grade and written that your answer is very good and your examples are very appropriate, still you need to improve further and you need to elaborate the concepts more, and though you have written the concepts but you have narrowed down them, you need to give 1 or 2 points more under each concept and something. If I have written in your assignment response, then I have sent you back the assignment response with my own suggestion and comments. If you go through them and if you feel that no, you have done enough work and your answer is very justified, and maybe if you know that Mr. Y or Mr. Z has received grade A, and if you just give me 1 second, someone wants to add me. Okay, then if you come to know that Mr. Z or Mr. Y has got grade A and you have received grade B, and you think that he or she has not written better than you but has received A, but you have received grade B, then you can raise a question and you can write back to the tutor or the counselor that after such nice effort, I have received grade B, but instead of writing less than me, someone has got A, and something like that. Okay, then the teacher or the counselor may write you back that why particularly Y or Z has got A and why you have received grade B, with a justification. Okay, that because of your language or because of the spelling mistakes or because of the presentation style or because of the because of the points that you missed out, maybe you have received B, by giving the explanation that why you have received certain grades also. This is the way generally one can communicate further. This is called the supplemental communication altogether, we can okay, we can refer or we can say also. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Very clear, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is there anything related to the assessment, evaluation, tutor comments, tasks of a distance teacher, teaching through correspondence, supplemental communication? Um, if you have any queries related to this, particularly block 4, or even counseling, tutoring services, development of skills, or basic issues of learner support of block 1, that you would like to discuss, because we have another 20-25 minutes in our hand, we can have the discussion, and maybe in the last class we can talk about the block 5, or management of learner support services also. Or if you want me to begin and continue that also we can do. Maybe a few slides we can discuss, and we can continue further also on 23rd of this month. 23rd, again we will be having a counseling session for this course, and that will be the last one for learner support and services. Till now, may I ask you some general questions, that have you gone through any of the blogs or the materials for this course, and how do you see this course? Is it informative or not? Is it interesting or not? Is it helpful? Or the way we are discussing and the way I am presenting, whether it makes any sense to you or not? How do you see it? Anyone or
Yes, sir.
yes,
So, sir, the course generally it is informative, interesting, and the way you are delivering, you are facilitating, it is absolutely excellent, sir. We are
okay,
very, very grateful, and we are very, very blessed, being blessed, sir. Thank you very much.
okay. Have you gone through any of the course materials yet, or not yet? Okay, anyone? Any others? Yes, yes, any?
Dr. Tata,
Yeah,
yeah, we've really benefited a lot from this course. Personally, like on the comments, I think even us teachers who are teaching pupils who are not distance learners, who implement where comments are concerned, we didn't know the significance of the comments. To
yes,
say if you write harmful comments, they can mislead the pupils, or pupils can stop. So I've learned a lot from learner support systems. It's a
yes,
very important course. How I wish even in higher education institutions in Zambia, this course can be made to be a compulsory course, because some of us, we never learned about the comments. We should
yes.
write the comments when giving feedbacks. So it's my privilege, sir, to listen from you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, thank you. See, that is the reason I wanted to discuss these comments very elaborately, because sometimes, as teachers, all of us we do Okay, we don't assume also sometimes, and by knowingly or sometimes unknowingly also we make such comments. Okay, maybe because of our busy schedule, or because of the lengthy of the work that we have. And if a pressure is being created on the teacher, that you have to do 50 assignments or 100 answer scripts in a day, then what happens is that the quality of work gets affected. Okay, if a teacher gets only 5 minutes or 10 minutes for each assignment, then he or she has to run, means may have to go through the assignment responses very quickly. Okay, and while going very quickly into the assignment responses, a teacher is also a human being. Okay, and he or she can miss out some of the points written by the learners. And then what happens is that if the teachers do not have much time to think, to reflect upon the responses written by the learners, and for writing some constructive comments or positive comments to the learners, then it happens that we give the hollow comments, that oh, you have written very good, your answers are written very nicely, you still need some improvement, and you should give some examples, and you need to improve further, and so that you will get good grade. Okay, some bluffing kind of sentences or such comments that we provide as teachers. Really, if you read those sentences, then it may uh, you may feel that yes, the comments are written about the learners, but if you really make sense of those comments, you will get nothing out of those comments. Because if I say you need improvement, but I'm not talking about what type of improvement you need, I'm saying you are writing nicely, but I'm not saying which part is very nice and why that is nice. Okay, I'm not giving any cause. And even if I'm saying that uh, something if I say that you go through the materials once again for further improvement, and you need to read more and more, you need to improve your something like that knowledge on the and the content that have been taught inside the classrooms. But I'm not specifically telling you that where exactly you need to study, which block exactly you need to study, on which aspect you need to develop your understanding. That I'm not telling you. Overally, I'm telling you that you need to study for more, and you need to go to the material again, or you need to improve upon your learning. But these all are very vague statements, we can say, because it though we think that we have written something, but if we go into the deep, if we try to make sense out of these comments, then definitely we can feel that we are not doing justice to our learners, and we are not guiding them properly, and we are not giving our 100% to the learners. And the learners also may think, or may find that some sort of confusion will be there on the part, that exactly why the teacher has written like this, and which part do I need to study further, and why where I'm exactly lagging behind, and on which area I need to improve. They also cannot be very sure and very comfortable also. They may not write back, because all the learners do not write back to the tutors, and they may keep aside, and they may also stop, or they may again may study. But even after, if at all they study, and if at all they go through the material, they also don't know exactly which course, which unit, which concept they need to study further and strengthen their learning. That also they don't know, but they may follow it very vaguely, the way teachers also write. That is the problem exactly exists in the educational system. Yes, as a teacher, as teachers and as honest human beings, we should be very clear, and that's why the communication skills are also very important. Because when we were talking about the communication skills, then I also said that how the listening skills have to be improved, how we should begin to write short sentences, how we can say learn to say even yes and no. Because if assignment responses are more for the teacher to evaluate, then they can say that no, in a day I can evaluate only these many, and tomorrow I may do this. They can even claim to their institution that this is more than my workload and I may not be able to do this. This kind of things have to be reflected also on the office records, and randomly this can be checked by the institutions, that whether the teachers are writing the correct assignment response comments or not, and whether they are guiding the learners in a proper way or not. This can be also monitored by randomly picking up the responses. Okay, these are the things which as a teacher we should take care of. And definitely you rightly said that in our higher education system also we expect this, and even these kind of courses may be included for the teachers training purpose also. Yes, is there anything that you would like to? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I think this course is very, very important because there is this communication between the learner and the tutor, and also the means of facilitation. The method you use in facilitating is also very helpful because without this learner support system, I don't think the learner will be able to know how to develop his skills, the various skills, and also there is need for academic communication between the learner and the tutor. So I think this is very, very important.
Yes, see, the academic communication, the non-academic communication, all these things are very important. And uh, if we see this course that consists and even that talks about the development of various skills, as we have discussed, the cognitive skills, reading writing skills, study skills, time management skills, stress management skills, communication skills. Then we had talked about the counseling, information services, okay, advising, then tutoring, then role of the technology in providing learner support. Then we may include the attending learners grievances. Okay, then even attending the various types of learners. Okay, exactly how the institutions can make institutional arrangements to meet to the requirements of the learner. Then how to develop this self-directed learning, how to identify different learning styles of the learners, then how to enhance or promote the individualized learning, and what exactly the assessment and evaluation support services are, and how the institutions should go about them, and how the learner should be apprised about the assessment and evaluation support services, and as what should be the tasks of a teacher or the different human resources or different stakeholders in open and distance learning system to reach to the learners through various support services. Okay, and these all are the concepts that we have discussed so far in this course. And yes, definitely, maybe in open and distance education system, these are the things which need more and more maybe in regular mode or face-to-face mode. These are the services which are required always and are useful for all kinds of learners. But there, getting these services may be bit easier on the part of the learners. But in open and distance learning system, this may be bit difficult, or the institutions have to take extra care for creating these support services, because the learners are not at the same place and are not from the same background and have not the same knowledge level and have not the same information, and all kind of variations maybe there. Okay. Mm, okay. And see, these are the things that are important. And we know that the importance of this course, and this will really be helpful for you all also, because as any professional, if you are teacher, then also it will be helpful as a teacher. Or if you would like to build your profession in this particular open and distance or any blended mode of education or in the field of education, then definitely as an administrator, as a teacher, as a counselor, as you can put yourself at any position of any organization. Then if you are responsible for creating and discharging or providing any kind of services for your learners, then definitely you can uh, correlate this course and the content that we have discussed with your own job also. And you can see that where exactly you stand and what more you can do for the improvement of the learners and their learning also. Even as a parent, as a human being, or at our families also, we may be having children and the young ones who are pursuing some programs and courses also. Then what exactly they may be facing the problems, and how they can improve their study skills, how they can read, how they develop uh, how they can improve their communication skills, and what exactly they should approach to the institution, and what the assessment and evaluation criteria that they have to face. And see, these are the areas which everyone should know, and has importance also in our lives. That's why I think this course is a very generic one and very interesting in that sense, and will be useful for all of us, whether we are in open and distance learning system, or uh, for our lifelong learning purpose also. We can say that this course is very important. And one block or is left in this course, and that is on learner management of learner support, because each subject or each area needs to be managed. If at all these many services have to be created by any institution, then we have to manage that also. How we can manage, and how now you can put yourselves at the manager's place or at the managerial places, and as the authoritarian places, and you can think, or you can assume that what can be the responsibilities that you should take, you should have for creating these kind of services, and where exactly the institutions need to take care, and how these things can be managed. If we give the example of IGNO, then we can say that at IGNO now we are having more than 3.6 million students. That means more than 36 lakh students we are having on roll. And even if we count the academic programs, then that may be more than 250 programs. And if we count the courses, then those are around 3000 courses IGNOU is offering. Then can you think that maintaining 36 lakhs of students and providing them the counseling support, providing them the material support, organizing the examination for them, declaring their results on time, then providing them the certification, holding the induction and orientation programs for them, and conducting convocation for them, and having the teachers and counselors for them, and preparing the study materials for them, preparing the assignments, evaluating the assignments. See, these all are the areas which an institution need to take care of. And under these areas, you can think that how these areas can be managed, that we have to see. And maybe then we can think and we can discuss those areas maybe in the uh, next class, when we will be discussing about learners management and support services and the related issues, maybe in the last class. That will be the last session that I am going to take on 23rd of this month. Today is 20th, Monday. That means on Thursday again we will be meeting to discuss the last block. And meanwhile, I suggest you to go through the materials, and if at all, if you face any difficulty or any queries, if you have, then definitely you can come back and raise your query and discuss also with me. Is it okay for you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Doc.
Okay. If you would like to say something, or then we can have it. Otherwise, we can close the meeting and meet on Thursday.
Okay, sir.
Do you have to say anything?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Then till now, all the blocks and all the units we have covered. Please go through them, and maybe on Thursday we will be winding up, and we will be discussing the last block on learners management issues. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Till then, bye bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Doc.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
We have enjoyed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.